Hello and welcome to this video tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to properly set up reference images for your next car modeling project in Blender. This is the final product you see right here. So let's get started. So you picked out a car, and the next step is to find reference images. The first kind of reference images you want to look for are the blueprints for your car. Now here I am on the Blueprints.com site. It's a wonderful database containing different types of blueprints. Let's take a look right here. You have different cars, motorcycles, trucks, planes, weapons. So definitely check this out, and whenever you need a blueprint. I'm looking for a Mazda RX8 Blueprint. I am on page 3. I went to Blueprints, Cars, and Mazda on page 3. And here they are, right here. A couple of choices. Now the way you filter it out, what choice you want, by looking at the size, the resolution of the image, and also how many views it has. For example, this Mazda MX-5 only has the side view, so not particularly useful, and it's quite low resolution. So back to our Mazda RX-8, definitely don't want this one, it only has 2 views. This one looks pretty good because of its resolution, so I'm gonna click on this one. Now there's actually a problem with this. This one is not in orthographic view, it's actually in perspective. I caught this because of the side mirrors. In the top view they're sticking out beyond the edges of the car, however in the front view they're actually not. So this is not actually a good blueprint to use, so keep an eye out for that. Let's check out this one right here. It's pretty good resolution and it has 4 views. While taking a look at this one, it's actually correctly drawn. You can see that definitely by the side mirrors. They're sticking out here and here, as they are the top view, and all of them are pretty much the same size, same height as the side view you have in the front and the back, also the same length in the top and side view. However, there's actually less detail in this one than the other one, so I went ahead and looked on Google, just googled in the images Mazda RX8 Blueprint. These 2 results right here and right here are actually from the Blueprints.com database. There's another, however, I found the third option right here. It's from tutorials3d.com. Let's take a look at this one. It's 1280 by 1348, which is a pretty good size to use. Not only it's more detailed than the other one, it also has the dimensions shown, which is actually pretty useful, and the interior. So if you're planning on modeling interior, this one is a good one to use. That is if you're doing a Mazda RX-8 model, of course. So I like this blueprint, and I am gonna save it. Just drag and drop into this Mazda folder I've created, and there it is. Alright, so now that we got it downloaded, we want to edit it in Gimp. Just drag and drop. What we're doing here is trying to separate all these views into their own separate image. So just take the cropping tool and start aligning the boundary box to the edges of the car. The more time you spend on this, the better it's going to be imported. The better it's going to be looking when it's going to be imported better in Blender. Sorry. So just trying to get this pretty good. Alright, that seems good to me. Just gonna click enter. By the way, these are the size of the cropped image. I'm actually gonna write that down once I hit enter. I have this notepad open right here. Side with 1202 by 365, and I'll explain why you want to write this down in a moment. We're going to do save as, not save, because this will overwrite your original blueprint, and that's not too good. You're going to have to re-download it. So I'm going to do an underscore and named it side, and I like PNG format, so I'm going to rename it to PNG and save. Alright, so now if you look back in our folder, the Mazda folder, we have a side and the original. Alright, now if you click Control Z, we undo, and let's crop out the top view. Alright, so this is where the writing down dimensions comes into play. We want our top view to have the same dimension, the width dimension, length for the car, same in the side and the top, 1202. Now the 365 is the height, so that'll be the same for the front and back views. So 1202 is going to be our width of the image in pixels. So right now it's 1208, so I'm going to zoom in a bit and bring this closer. Here and here. Now if you're off by a few pixels, that's generally okay, but you want to make sure it's really close. Now this one is actually going to be not 365 I explained earlier, because that's not the height. Just going to drag this down a bit. Sorry, I'm trying to make this perfect, but the more time you spend on this, as I said, the better your setup. Okay. Enter, file, again, save as. This one's going to be the top view. And save, undo. Now for the front and back views, they're going to be, oh, and I did not write it down. I believe it was 512. Yeah. So the front should be 512 by 365, because this is the width and that's the height. Okay. So you want to make this 512. Actually, that was pretty good. Yeah. Make sure it's like symmetric too. That's quite important, because when you import it in, it's going to be centered, so you want your center to be right along the car's center. So I'll make this 365. Come on. There we go. 512, 365. Hit enter. File. Save as. Now this is going to be the front. And one more time we're going to do is for the back view, and then we'll be ready to import these into Blender and set up our viewports. .513, this one, to 512. Alright, 365. Good. Press enter. File, save as, and this time is going to be the back. Alright, this part done. We could fire up Blender, which I already have fired up. Control N to Control N, no. Alright, file, new. There we go. This is fresh scene, default view. What I'm going to do is just move these lights and camera to layer the bottom layer right there, just using M key. T key to remove this toolbox so we have more space. Now press the N key to display this. Now background images, check that. And now we could add images. Now you could do it from this add image right here. I like to do it from the UV editing screen. You could go like this, or you could press Control left arrow and skip a few here. Now I'm gonna just drag and drop all our views into this image editor, just like that. There we go. Now they're all loaded. We can go back using Control right arrow this time, or you could do Control left arrow. It cycles through. Back to our main window. Add image. And let's do the side. If we didn't load them in, there will be nothing here. So you would actually have to go and open it. There's an open button here. I found this way easier because then you could just drag them all in and then just open them here. So let's go to side view, which is number 3 on our numpad. Or we could go here, view 3, numpad 3. Now let's split it by dragging it here, just like that. Split like that. And create 3 more here. Now this setup is entirely, okay, that I made a little mistake, is entirely up to you. This is my preference. I like the top view to be here, side view here, and all. I'll make a 3D view here. I'm just gonna press N. Actually, I still need it. Control up to maximize the screen that your mouse cursor is on. I'm just gonna actually remove this and go into camera mode. So now I'll have a 3D view here, so I can see what I'm doing. This one would be the front. This will be the back. And this one is going to be the top. I'm just going to hit Z to go into wireframe view on all these viewports. Alright. I'm going to select this cube right here. It's going to be our test cube. I'm just going to scale this up to this image size. Now, if I move these vertices along the y-axis, oh, I forgot to do one thing. Okay, this is in the side view, but this is top view, so we gotta go press number 7 here on the numpad. And this view, we gotta press number 1 on the numpad and Control 1 the back view. So I can see front, back, right, which is the side view, and the top. Alright, that's very important. Alright, now if you press, if you grab this along the y-axis and move it, you could see that in the top view it moves up and down as I move left and right in the side view. So this blueprint image is actually not correctly orientated. We got to rotate it 90 degrees so the front of it points down. It's going to be easily done in either Gimp or simple Paint, Microsoft Paint. I'm just going to do rotate left 90 degrees, sorry about that. And now the front points down. Control S to save. Right, now it's pointing down. Go back in Blender and gotta make sure you reload it right here. Boom. Alright, just gonna scale it along the y-axis to fill up this box. It's just gonna be our test cube right here. It's not a cube anymore. Okay, so now you can see that the front view and back view and the top view are considerably larger than the right view. This is because Blender, when Blender adds an image, it adds it 5 Blender units from the axis. So this one is 10 units long and this is 10 units long. However, all of these have the same width. Well, this is different. So if we go here, you could see that since we rotated the top view, right now the top is actually reversed. Now it's 512 by 1202. So 512 is the width for that one, and back and front also have the 512. While the side view has 1202 pixels. That's why this one is smaller than these two. So what we need to do is either scale this one up or scale these down. I prefer usually scaling these down so I can keep the size. Otherwise this is going to be huge and it's kind of harder to model, or when you import it into something else, or when you do lighting it also poses some difficulties, and you have to scale it down, and might as well do it right away. So the size value right here controls how big the background image is. It has it on all of them here. So what we're gonna do is rescale it. Now this is a simple ratio. You take the 512 and you divide it by the 1202. So the width of an image in the side view, in the front, back, or top views, divided by the length of it in the side view. So 512, whoops, calculator, 512, divided that by 1202, you get this number, and multiplied by 5, because that's the 5 Blender units, that's the size. And you get 2.129. Copy that, paste it in the size right here on the front, back, and top views. Now they are perfect, with the exception of course the scaling on the, I'm just going to do it like that so you can see all of them scaled. Alright. And that's pretty much it. If you want to stop here, you could definitely stop, because we are pretty much done. The other thing I want to show is when you, say for example, if you're in side view and you want to go into front view, the side view still stays. What we're going to do is go right here, press right. Not all views, but only right. So if you go to front view, it disappears. Same thing for here. You could do it on the front. This is the back, and this is the top. There we go. So now all of these will disappear if you go to another view. That depends if you want to do that or not. You could also do it all in one view, and then just when you switch to, like, you can do and add an image. You could add another one here and say you want to have it on the right, and you want to be the side view here. If you go side, that's what it's going to show. If you this way, it's going to show nothing. So you could do this all in one window, or you could do it in all these. So you could, that's entirely up to you. There's another way. You could go to user preferences enable the add images as planes add-on and actually skip the whole background image and actually add physical planes add-ons, sorry, not the input, add-ons in a background. Let's see, import there, import images as planes right here. Just enable it. You close it if you go in a front view and file, import images as planes. You could import the image here and it will put up a plane exactly the size of the image. And you could do it for side, front, and back views and top view. But I like the background way much better because it's less cluttered in a 3D view. So once you have this set up, all that's left is actual reference images for your car. So what you want to do is actually find good high quality resolution images. I'm just going to copy that. Go to Google and make sure it's large or larger than, say, 4 megapixels. You want to have them high quality. Make sure you get a lot of them from all the different sizes. So you're making the bumper, make sure you get it a shot from this shot, maybe this shot. Make sure it's a real image, not a CG made one. You definitely want to have a lot of references because on one picture you might see one thing, but then you realize that it's completely different when you look at another image. So definitely be careful when you're modeling like that. So that's all for me. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Hope you learned something new, mainly how to set up reference images in Blender and actually find some good high quality resolution images. So the next step for you is to make the car. Good luck with that. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial and thank you for watching.